here it all is, my brand new layout. So we've got the table constructed and we've got a ridiculous amount of track from various places. Some of it's mine, that was just left over from my last layout builds. Some of it's off my dad's original layout. Some of it's from a box some friends gave to me, and some of it I bought recently in hopes to do this project. So, I have the track plan right here. Just an idea. So this is kind of the goal I had in mind. It's a table with two separate sets of tracks that are connected. That way I can run two trains at once on one table. I'm gonna need your guys' help with this a bit because I believe this right here actually counts as a reversing loop. And for those of you guys that don't know, reversing loops can cause short circuits. So I'm gonna need to figure out some kind of way to electrically isolate this so that I can drive a train onto the reversing loop, stop the train, I guess somehow change the polarity, and then continue driving the train without causing shorts. So if you guys know any tutorials online or picture diagrams on the internet, please send them to me, to my email, scrumptiousmodeltrains@gmail.com, and that'd be much appreciated. So this thing's gonna have a lot of little features. It's gonna have a riser that comes up here, it's gonna cross over, it's gonna come back down. It's gonna have this little kind of spur that's gonna be for a potential lumber industry, because this layout's gonna be, I think, a pine forest, a great big forest kind of, and you've got tracks going through it, which I think would look very cool. And it's obviously gonna have lots of tunnels, kind of interesting. This track is gonna go actually under the risers and pop out before they come back down. It's gonna be a complicated build, but I'm excited for the challenge, and I think if we can manage to build this thing, it's gonna be really, really cool. It's not going to have all modern layout amenities, such as curves that are wider than 18 radius inch curves. 18 radius inch curves would be the only curves that could actually fit on the size of table that I have here. So I didn't have a choice, unfortunately. But frankly, all my other layouts have 18 radius inch curves, and all my trains pretty much can operate on them. Not particularly well, but not the big ones, but since the majority of them can, it doesn't really make a difference for me. And frankly, I think this is going to be a very cool layout, even if only smaller trains can operate on it. There shouldn't be a lot of need to operate massive trains on it anyways. Right here is the only piece of track that is officially nailed down to the table. You'll notice it has this thing over top of it. This was something I made. It's not a tunnel portal, but basically the track, I believe, I did some measurements and it should kind of come up over this, and this will just guarantee that whatever level the track is at, that the trains can clear it. I did some measurements, and my tallest engines can go through this. Not the ones with the pantographs, but any tall engine without any overhead catenary can go through this with no problem. So that's the only bit. Now let's get working. Another thing I'd like to point out are these little stickers. They would seem meaningless, except this was actually, all this green board here was what I used to run all my little wooden trains on when I was a kid, back in the early 2000s. This bit's new, but it's kind of cool that, I guess almost 15 years later, it's back on the railroad. So that's gonna be kind of interesting. So we're gonna start. So I think the best way to start is to start building this curve. I went out and bought brand new rail joiners because I don't think I'd have enough. And frankly, old rail joiners are just no good. If they've been used, they won't allow electricity to flow as easily through them because they'll be bent and stuff like that. So these things are only $5 a package, and you get a lot of them, so it was fine by me. So I have this entire corner constructed now. I'm not going to continue on because there's a switch around here that needs to connect to something else, so I guess we're just going to have to work on some other part of the layout, but we have part of the track built now. One of the best ways to build the layout is just to start kind of connecting random pieces together and just laying down bits of track, but not nailing them down. That way you can just get everything kind of adjusted. I may have to take up a section of track along the straight here because the switch has to go right here, but it can't go just anywhere along the straight, because obviously if I put it too far back, it's going to interfere with the piece of track that will be coming down here. So we're just going to leave that for now until we get that sorted out. Now tomorrow being Thursday, August 30th, I've got a little bit done since yesterday. I just put down a little bit more track, I think, off camera. I got part of the switching thing kind of sorted out. None of it's nailed down or glued down or whatever it is I'm gonna have to do. And I'm just gonna, I think, break up the whole build in segments, otherwise they would take forever to upload. I may even do a couple live streams if you guys are interested, so just let me know in the comments. Until then, thank you guys for watching.